Marcus Williams was holding his father's suicide note when the old woman spoke his real name that died with his father 7 years ago. Malik Chen Washington. Her blood-specked lips barely moved. Your father didn't jump. 6:53 p.m. Fifth Avenue. 4 minutes until Columbia changed his life forever. The elderly woman hadn't collapsed. She'd been poisoned. Marcus recognized the symptoms. Prussic acid. The almond smell mixed with her perfume. 3 men with neck tattoos, Russian Bratva, watched from the Starbucks window. She crawled through her own vomit toward him. Commuters filmed her agony. One influencer narrated, "Drunk grandma alert. This is gold." The woman pressed something into Marcus's palm. His father's DEA badge, still bloody. "Tower 7, she gasped. "They're killing everyone from Tower 7. Security surrounded them. Marcus had 30 seconds before the poison stopped her heart. 4 minutes to save his father's killer, or his father's only friend. Brad Thompson's taser was already out. "Step away from the lady, boy. Hands where I can see them." Marcus kept pressure on Eleanor's carotid artery. The woman's pulse was erratic, not from age, from tetrodotoxin. He recognized the symptoms from his mother's murder 7 years ago. Same poison, same delivery method, same killers. "She's been poisoned with TTX, Marcus said. "Without atropine in 90 seconds, she's dead." "Poisoned?" Brad smirked. "Let me guess. You had nothing to do with—" Eleanor suddenly jackknifed up, vomiting blood onto Brad's shoes. In the splatter pattern, Marcus saw something impossible: microfilm capsules. 3 of them. She'd been carrying intelligence in her stomach. "Holy shit!" Jenny Park, NYC, zoomed her camera. "This kid made her puke blood. NYPD, where are you?" Her live stream exploded. 5,000 to 50,000 viewers in 10 seconds. The caption updated, "Black teen tortures grandma. Live now." But Marcus noticed something Jenny's camera missed. Eleanor hadn't just vomited randomly. She'd aimed for Brad's shoes because she recognized them. Russian military surplus, the kind worn by Bratva enforcers. Brad wasn't security. He was one of them. "Mikhail," Eleanor gasped in Russian, looking at Brad. "You killed my daughter." Brad's face went white. His American accent slipped. "You should have stayed dead, Eleanor." The crowd couldn't hear them over traffic, but Marcus heard everything. His mother had taught him Russian before she died, before they made it look like suicide. Victoria Sterling emerged from Hermes, and Marcus's blood froze. She had the same neck tattoo as his mother's killer, a barely visible crow behind her ear. Russian mafia marker. The Crow Brigade, his father's files called them. "Is that Mrs. Chen?" Victoria lied smoothly. "Our best customer." What happened? She typed on her phone. Marcus caught the reflection in a puddle. She was activating something. A timer. 2 o'clock and counting down. Eleanor gripped Marcus's wrist with dying strength. Her touch burned literally. She'd palmed him something coated in capsaicin. It would burn through his skin, leave a mark. A chemical message that would only appear under blacklight. "Your mother," Eleanor wheezed, "didn't kill herself." "Have proof." Columbia. "Room 4B, your interviewer—" "Shut up!" Brad kicked Eleanor in the ribs. The crowd gasped, but Jenny spun it perfectly. "The teen's making her talk." He won't let her rest. The live stream comments turned vicious. "Death penalty! Deport him! Typical thug behavior." 3 men pushed through the crowd, NYPD badges out. But Marcus recognized the leader, Dmitry Volkov, Eleanor's son. the man who'd murdered 17 DEA agents, including Marcus's father. "We've got this," Dmitri told Brad in perfect American accent. Then, in Russian, "Kill the boy after we leave." Eleanor heard. With her last strength, she did something unthinkable. She bit down hard on something in her mouth, a glass capsule. Blood poured from between her teeth. "Ricin," she said clearly for all the cameras. "I just took ricin." "Whoever touches me dies, too." The crowd screamed, stampeding backward. Jenny dropped her phone but kept streaming. The angle now showed something nobody had noticed. Victoria Sterling putting on latex gloves. Brad reaching for a gun. Dmitri pulling out a syringe. They weren't scared of ricin, because they knew Eleanor was lying. But Marcus understood. She'd given him cover to run. The crowd's panic would hide him for maybe 10 seconds. His phone buzzed. Columbia interview started. Room 4B, final chance. Room 4B. Eleanor kept saying, "Room 4B, why?" Then he remembered. The Babylon files, his father's final case. The evidence that would expose a CIA black site where they tortured American citizens. The file location was coded as Room 4B in his father's notes. His interviewer wasn't from Columbia. It was someone with the files. "Nobody move!" A real cop arrived. Officer Martinez, badge 7352. "Everyone stay calm." But Victoria Sterling walked up to Martinez, whispered something, and showed him something on her phone. The cop's expression changed. He holstered his weapon and walked away. They owned the NYPD too. Eleanor's breathing stopped. Her eyes stayed open, staring at Marcus. Dead. But her hand kept moving. Muscle memory. Signing something in ASL. "Your mother is alive." That was impossible. Marcus had identified his mother's body. "Unless cuff him," Dmitri ordered Brad. "We're taking him in for questioning." Brad approached with zip ties. The crowd filmed everything. Fifth Avenue Thug was trending worldwide. Marcus Williams was becoming the most hated teenager in America. Victoria Sterling smiled. "You look just like your mother, Marcus. She screamed your name when we burned her." That's when Marcus understood. This wasn't random. Eleanor hadn't found him by accident. This was an execution. His execution, staged for millions to watch. The Columbia interview was a trap. Room 4B was where they'd killed his father. But Eleanor had given him something. The chemical burn on his palm was spreading, forming letters, GPS coordinates. He had one chance, one move they wouldn't expect. Marcus did the unthinkable. He ran straight at Victoria Sterling. Marcus's shoulder hit Victoria Sterling's ribs with a wet crack. She hadn't expected him to attack. Nobody attacks toward a gun. But Marcus had seen the safety was on. Victoria was corporate, not military. She screamed, falling into the Hermes window. The glass spiderwebbed, but held. Her phone skittered across concrete. Marcus dove for it, fingers closing around the device as Brad's taser prongs hit his shoulder. Electricity shot through him, but his father had taught him something. Flex every muscle during shock. It distributes the current. He stayed conscious. The phone screen showed a timer. 1:47, 1:46, 1:45. Below it, a live satellite feed of Times Square. Red dots marked positions. 17 red dots forming a pentagon, chemical weapon deployment sites. "He's got a gun!" Jenny screamed into her live stream, a lie that would become truth for her 97,000 viewers. "The thug has a gun!" Marcus had 3 seconds before Brad's second shot. He memorized the red dot's positions, then did something insane. He threw Victoria's phone straight up, 40 feet. Every camera followed it. In that moment of distraction, Marcus rolled to Eleanor's body. She'd been trying to tell him something with her final hand position. Sign language, check my insulin pump. He found it under her shirt. But it wasn't insulin inside. The digital display showed recording 2 hours, 47 minutes and 33 seconds. Almost 3 hours of audio. Eleanor had been recording everything. Brad's second taser shot missed. He'd been watching the phone too. It landed in a puddle, screen cracking, but still showing the timer. 1:23. Everybody back! Officer Martinez had returned with 6 cops, but Marcus caught their badge numbers sequential. 9001, 9002, 9003. Fake cops carry sequential badges because real numbers are random. The real Martinez was probably dead. Take him down, fake Martinez ordered, but Dmitry Volkov stepped forward, blocking them. My mother deserves dignity. He knelt beside Eleanor's body, closing her eyes. Then, in Russian, you always were too sentimental, Mom. Mom. Eleanor was Dmitry's mother, which meant she was trying to stop you, Marcus said in Russian. Every head snapped toward him. A black teenager from Brooklyn speaking perfect Russian. Jenny's live-stream chat exploded with conspiracy theories. Dmitry smiled. You speak our language. How interesting. He pulled out a knife not to threaten, but to cut something from Eleanor's neck. A small device. My mother thought she could play both sides. CIA and Bratva. She forgot the first rule, blood is blood. The timer on Victoria's cracked phone, 0:58. Marcus felt the chemical burn on his palm spreading. The GPS coordinates were forming numbers, 40.7614 degrees north, 73.9776 degrees west. But underneath, more numbers appeared. A date, today's date, and a time, 7:47 p.m., current time, 7:01 p.m., 46 minutes until something happened at those coordinates. You killed your own mother, Marcus said loudly, in English for the cameras. No, Dmitry replied. You did. Everyone saw it. A violent black teenager attacking an elderly Asian woman. The perfect American tragedy. That's when the streetlights exploded. Not just one. Every streetlight for 3 blocks shattered simultaneously. Glass rained down. The crowd screamed, covering their heads. In the darkness, emergency lights kicked in, casting everything in hellish red. Jenny kept filming by her phone's flashlight. Terrorist attack! This is a terrorist attack! But Marcus knew better. Streetlights don't explode from terrorism. They explode from electromagnetic buildup. Someone was charging an EMP device, a big one. Through the red emergency lighting, he saw them. 3 black SUVs approaching from different directions. No plates, no markings. Windows tinted beyond legal limits. The timer, 0:30. Get down! Real cops badges, 7352, 4891, 2266 arrived from the south. Officer Janet Rodriguez. Marcus recognized her from his father's funeral. She'd been crying that day. Marcus Williams, Rodriguez shouted. Remember me? Your dad saved my life. Get behind me now. But Dmitry grabbed Marcus's throat. He goes nowhere. Rodriguez shot Dmitry. Not with a taser, with her service weapon. Center mass. He dropped, blood pooling. NYPD, she screamed at the fake cops. Badges on the ground or I shoot. The timer, 0:15. The SUV screeched to stops. Doors opened. Tactical teams poured out, but not SWAT. Their gear was wrong. Private military. Mercenaries. Jenny's live stream captured it all. Gang war. It's a fucking gang war. The timer, 0:10. Rodriguez pushed Marcus down as gunfire erupted. Real cops versus fake cops versus mercenaries. Bodies dropped. Blood mixed with rain. The crowd stampeded in every direction. But Marcus noticed something nobody else did. One mercenary wasn't shooting. He was placing devices. Small, cylindrical. Gas canisters. The timer, 0:05. "Gah!" Marcus screamed. "Chemical weapons!" Rodriguez saw them too. She grabbed Marcus, running toward the nearest building, a Chase bank. Its doors were auto-locked after hours, but she shot the glass, pushed Marcus through. The timer, 0 hours, 0 minutes. Instead of an explosion, there was silence. Then every electronic device within 8 blocks died. Phones, cars, streetlights, everything. The EMP had fired. But the gas canisters were mechanical. They started hissing. Yellow smoke poured out. Not sarin, that's colorless. This was something else. The crowd that hadn't evacuated started coughing, then screaming, then dropping. Rodriguez slammed the bank's manual emergency lock. "That's chlorine gas. We have maybe 3 minutes before it seeps in." Through the bank's window, Marcus saw her. A woman standing calmly in the yellow smoke, wearing a gas mask. She pulled it off. His mother, Anya Volkov. Not dead, not scarred, looking exactly as she had 7 years ago. She walked through the gas unaffected. Impossible. Unless... "She's immune," Rodriguez whispered. "She's been building immunity for years. Your mother is patient zero for something terrible." Anya approached the bank window. She wrote something in the condensation. "Hello, son. Time to choose. Them or men behind her." Bodies littered Fifth Avenue, but some were moving. The gas hadn't killed them. It had paralyzed them. They were conscious, but couldn't move, couldn't scream. "Marcus," Rodriguez said, "your father didn't jump. He was pushed by someone he trusted." Anya smiled through the glass and held up a photo. It showed Marcus's father standing next to Rodriguez. They were kissing. Rodriguez pulled her gun, but not aimed at Anya, at Marcus. "I'm sorry," Rodriguez said. "Your father chose wrong. Don't make his mistake." Rodriguez's gun stayed steady against Marcus's temple. Through the bank's bulletproof glass, the yellow gas had settled into a thick carpet. The paralyzed bodies weren't random. They formed letters visible only from above. MARCUS. "Your mother arranged them," Rodriguez said, "while they were running. She corralled them into position. 8,000 people spelling your name." Marcus felt bile rise. "She paralyzed innocents to send me a message?" "No." Rodriguez pulled out her phone, showing a satellite feed. "Look closer." The bodies weren't just spelling his name. They were arranged by demographics. Children in the M, elderly in the A, pregnant women in the R, minorities in the C, poor in the U, rich in the S. "It's a census," Marcus breathed. "She's showing who the CIA planned to kill." "Project Babylon," Rodriguez confirmed. "Eliminate the economically unproductive. Blame foreign terrorists. Justify infinite war budgets. Your mother found out because she was supposed to be the weapon." Through the glass, Anya held up a vial of clear liquid. She drank it, then walked into her own gas cloud. The yellow fumes turned clear around her. She was neutralizing it with her body chemistry. "That's impossible," Marcus said. "Your mother was pregnant with you when we experimented on her." Rodriguez's voice cracked. "The compounds changed you both. She became immune to everything. You became something else." "What?" "A cure. Your blood contains antibodies for every biological weapon ever created. The CIA wants you dead because you're evidence of war crimes. The Russians want you alive because you're worth billions as a bioweapon neutralizer." Marcus noticed something. The paralyzed people, their eyes were moving in unison, following something in the sky. He looked up. A drone. Military grade. It was spraying something. "Get down!" Rodriguez tackled Marcus as the bank windows exploded inward. Not from the drone, from sniper fire. 3 shots, precise groupings. The bullets weren't meant to kill. They were creating ventilation holes. The drone's spray drifted in. Rodriguez started convulsing immediately, but Marcus felt nothing except a strange tingling. His skin was absorbing the chemical and neutralizing it. "They're killing you," Rodriguez gasped, foam at her lips. "Your own government. Killing me to get to you. Why tell me the truth now?" "Because," she coughed blood, "your father isn't dead. He's running Babylon. Has been for 7 years." Marcus's world inverted. "My father is alive?" "He staged his death to go underground. Your mother didn't kill him. She helped him disappear. They're working together. This whole thing, Eleanor, the gas, me, it's all to activate you." "Activate?" Rodriguez pulled off her badge. Underneath was a second badge, Russian FSB. "I'm a double agent. So was your father. So is your mother. East and West are working together on something bigger than Cold War." Her phone buzzed. A text from Tower 7. "Is the boy ready?" Rodriguez typed with shaking fingers. "Almost. Needs final trigger." The response came instantly. "Kill yourself in front of him. Trauma activates the genes." Rodriguez laughed, bitter. "Even now, they're calculating our deaths." She looked at Marcus. "Your grandmother, Eleanor, she wasn't trying to save you. She was the final trigger. Watching her die started your transformation." Marcus felt it then. The tingling had become burning. His vision sharpened beyond human normal. He could see individual cells in Rodriguez's tears. Count the atoms in the glass shards. "What am I becoming?" "Patient 0 for the next phase of human evolution. But it requires trauma to fully activate. Massive personal trauma. That's why they killed your mother in front of you. Or made you think they did." Through the broken window, Anya was walking through the paralyzed crowd. She touched each person she passed. Where she touched, they could move again. She was selective: children first, then elderly, then pregnant women. She's choosing who lives, Marcus realized. No, she's choosing who remembers. Her touch contains a neurochemical that preserves memory during paralysis. Everyone else will have amnesia. Only her chosen will remember the truth. Jenny was one of the chosen. Anya touched her forehead, and Jenny gasped, her live stream capturing everything. She's saving us. The terrorist is saving us." But Marcus saw deeper. Each person Anya touched had something in common. They'd all lost someone to government action. Police shootings, military experiments, CIA operations. She was building an army of witnesses. Rodriguez grabbed Marcus's hand. "Tower 7, Sub-Level 9, your father is waiting." But Marcus, Her grip tightened. He's not who you remember. The experiments changed him too. He can see probability streams, every possible future. He's been orchestrating every moment of your life to create the perfect outcome. Perfect for who? For humanity. Or so he believes. Rodriguez pulled out a second gun ceramic, invisible to metal detectors. Take this. When you see him, you'll have to choose. Kill your father and stop Babylon, or join him and evolve beyond human. The drone circled back, this time spraying something different. The paralyzed people started screaming. They could feel, but not move. Agony without escape. Phase 2, Rodriguez whispered. Neural activation spray. Increases pain receptors 1,000-fold. Another test for you. Test? Can you watch 8,000 people suffer and remain human, or will you evolve past empathy? Marcus didn't hesitate. He grabbed the antidote device from Rodriguez's belt, the one she'd said would kill everyone. But now he understood. It wouldn't kill them. It would evolve them, make them like him, immune to everything. But evolution came with a price. They'd never be fully human again. 10 seconds to choose, Rodriguez said, dying. Save them and curse them with evolution. Or let them suffer and remain human. Marcus thought of his father, calculating probabilities. His mother, choosing witnesses. His grandmother, dying with secrets. Everyone playing God with human lives. He made a third choice. He shot the drone down with Rodriguez's ceramic gun. The neural spray dispersed harmlessly into the atmosphere. Then he turned the antidote device not outward, but inward, injecting himself with concentrated evolution serum. The transformation was agony, every cell screaming as DNA rewrote itself. Marcus fell, convulsing. Through pain-blurred vision, he saw his mother running toward the bank. Saw his father on a screen in Times Square, watching through traffic cameras. Saw Jenny filming everything. When the pain stopped, Marcus stood. But he wasn't Marcus anymore. Not fully. He could see the electromagnetic spectrum, hear conversations a mile away, feel the Earth's rotation. His brain processed information at quantum speeds. But most importantly, he could see the truth everyone had hidden. Tower 7 wasn't a building. It was a ship, buried under Manhattan for 50 years. Alien technology that had started all of this. His parents weren't training him to be a weapon. They were preparing him for first contact. The real Babylon Protocol wasn't about killing thousands. It was about evolving thousands. Because something was coming. Something that required humanity to be more than human. Rodriguez died with a smile. Your father was right. You did choose the third option. Just like he predicted. Marcus looked at his hands. They were shifting between solid and translucent. Between human and something else. Outside, the paralysis wore off. 8,000 people stood, confused but alive. They'd remember nothing except being saved by a hero cop. But Jenny remembered everything. Her live stream had captured the truth. Number Babylon Protocol exploded across the internet before the government could stop it. Marcus walked out of the bank. Nobody saw him. He was vibrating at a frequency beyond human perception. A ghost in the electromagnetic spectrum. Tower 7 was waiting. His parents were waiting. The truth was waiting. But first, he stopped at a puddle. His reflection showed not one face, but thousands every possible version of himself across infinite probability streams. In one stream, he was fully human, living ignorant and happy. In another, he was pure energy, beyond physical form. In most, he was dead. But in this stream, this one precious timeline, he was exactly what humanity needed. Marcus Williams vanished into the quantum foam, heading for Tower 7. Behind him, Jenny's final live stream frame showed something impossible. The puddle he'd looked into. It reflected stars. Not from Earth's sky. From somewhere else entirely. Tower 7 was a parking garage. Marcus stood in the rain, staring at the mundane concrete structure. No alien ship. No dimensional phases. Just a building where his father had supposedly died 7 years ago. Level B9. The text from Marcus Sr. had been specific. The elevator was broken, of course. Marcus took the stairs, each level darker than the last. B3. Homeless camps. B5. Used needles. B7. Gang tags. B9. Complete darkness, then light. Not electric candles. Hundreds of them. In the center sat his father. Not in military uniform. Not evolved. Just James Williams in the same suit he'd worn to work 7 years ago, now threadbare and stained. "Hello, son." Marcus didn't move. The ceramic gun felt heavy in his pocket. "You're supposed to be dead." "I was. For 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Long enough for them to stop looking." James stood slowly, like it hurt. "Your mother saved me. Pulled me from the water after I jumped." "Why, because I discovered what Babylon really was. Not alien technology, not evolution serums, just good old-fashioned genocide dressed up as science." James pulled out a laptop. Ancient thing, held together with duct tape. The screen showed financial records, Pentagon black budgets, CIA slush funds, Russian oligarch transfers. "Babylon Protocol is ethnic cleansing for profit," James said. "Release targeted bioweapons in poor neighborhoods. Blame foreign terrorists. Seize the land for development. Manhattan real estate is worth killing for." The gas attack today wasn't gas. Aerosolized fentanyl mixed with paralytic agents, designed to kill anyone with specific genetic markers. Blacks, Latinos, Asians, poor whites with Appalachian ancestry. Anyone they deem economically non-productive. Marcus felt sick. Mom's immunity. "Your mother isn't immune to anything. She's Russian Bratva royalty. They gave her the antidote beforehand, just like they gave it to Victoria Sterling and the others. The rich protect the rich. But I survived, because Eleanor gave you the antidote when she grabbed you. That burning on your palm. Transdermal naloxone. Experimental. Saved your life." James opened another file. Videos. Security footage from 7 years ago. It showed James Williams in this very garage, meeting with someone. Rodriguez, but younger. Pregnant. "Janet was my informant," James said quietly, "trying to expose Babylon from inside. They found out. Threatened her baby. She had to choose her child or me. In the video, Rodriguez pushed James off the ledge, but the angle showed something else. She'd pushed him toward a maintenance platform hidden from other cameras, trying to save him. She died thinking she'd betrayed me," James continued. "But she saved my life. She said Mom killed you. Your mother had to believe I was dead. She was being watched every second. One tell, one moment of knowing, and they'd kill you both." James pulled up more files. "But she knew. Anya always knows. She's been playing a longer game." "What game?" "Destroying Babylon from inside." Footsteps on the stairs. Multiple people. James didn't reach for a weapon. "They're here." Anya Volkov entered first, not in tactical gear, in a business suit. Behind her, Director Chen, General Morrison, Victoria Sterling, the architects of Babylon, but also behind them, Jenny Park with a professional camera crew, several judges, the Attorney General, and someone Marcus didn't expect, Denise Williams, the civil rights attorney, Marcus's fictional mother from the original lie. "Hello, Marcus," Denise said. "I am your godmother. Your parents asked me to protect you legally when this day came." "What day?" Anya finally spoke. "The day we testify." The laptop screen changed. Live feed from the UN General Assembly. Packed. Every nation watching. "This isn't a boardroom," James said. "It's a tribunal. We've been gathering evidence for 7 years. Every murder, every test, every dollar. Project Babylon killed 90,000 Americans since 2001. All poor, all minorities, all written off as gang violence or drug overdoses." General Morrison stepped forward. Marcus tensed, but the general just handed over his weapon. "I'm done," Morrison said simply. "My son was one of the test subjects. I didn't know until today. Fentanyl in his school's water supply. They told me it was contamination. It was a field test." Director Chen nodded. "My daughter Sarah died trying to expose this. Real FBI agent. They made her disappear. Replaced her with an actress for today's operation." Victoria Sterling was crying. "Hermes knew. Every luxury brand knew. We funded it through art sales, money laundering. I thought we were just avoiding taxes." Jenny's camera captured everything. But this wasn't going online. This was going to The Hague, International Criminal Court. "Babylon wasn't one conspiracy," Anya explained to Marcus. "It was 100 small ones. Each person knew a piece, thought they were patriots, or just following orders, or just making money. Nobody saw the whole picture except who?" A new voice from the stairwell. Old, tired, familiar. Eleanor Volkov walked in, very much alive. "Me," she said. "I designed it. In 1973. For the Soviets. Perfect elimination of undesirables. America stole it in 1991. Perfected it. Industrialized it." She looked at Marcus. "I created the monster. Your parents found it. And together we're killing it. Why tell me now?" "Because in 10 minutes, James said, the real Babylon Protocol activates. Not gas attacks or alien invasions, just a simple executive order declaring martial law in poor neighborhoods, permanent occupation, Gaza in America. Unless," Anya added, "we broadcast the truth first." Marcus understood. They needed him. The viral villain from this morning. The most watched person on Earth right now. If he testified, people would listen. "They'll kill us all," Marcus said. "Yes," his parents said together. "But the truth will outlive us," Eleanor added. "It always does." Marcus thought about the 8,000 people on Fifth Avenue, arranged to spell his name. Not by his mother, by random chance as they fled. Sometimes patterns are just patterns. Sometimes evil is just evil. No aliens needed. "Where do I testify?" "Times Square," Denise Williams said. "Live broadcast. Every screen. Jenny's been setting it up all day. The world is watching." Marcus looked at his father. 7 years of grief. His mother, 7 years of loneliness. His grandmother, 70 years of guilt. "Let's burn it down." They climbed the stairs together. No superpowers, no evolution. Just humans with evidence. As they emerged, Marcus saw Times Square packed with the 8,000 from Fifth Avenue. They'd come to support him, the thug who'd tried to save an old woman. Jenny handed him a microphone. "My name is Marcus Williams," he began. "This morning you were told I was a terrorist. That was a lie. But here's the truth." He talked for an hour, named names, showed receipts, his parents beside him, adding details, Eleanor translating documents. The crowd grew from thousands to hundreds of thousands. When NYPD tried to shut it down, the officers refused to advance. Some joined the crowd. When the internet killed the streams, ham radio operators took over. When they cut power to Times Square, people held up phones with flashlights. The truth, once started, couldn't be stopped. By midnight, 17 governments had fallen. 130 executives arrested. Project Babylon died, not with alien intervention, but with human testimony. Marcus ended where he began. 7 minutes. That's all it took to change everything. One person stopping to help, then another, then 8,000, then 8 million. Evil requires silence. Good just requires sound. The last screen in Times Square showed a simple message. Eleanor Volkov, designer of Babylon, died at 11:59 p.m., surrounded by family she'd thought she'd lost. She'd held on just long enough to see it end. Marcus held his grandmother as she passed. No superpowers could save her, but she died human. They all remained human. That was the real victory. 3 days after Times Square, Marcus buried his grandmother alone. No state funeral, no media. Eleanor Volkov had left instructions. Pine Box. Potter's Field. Let me rot with my victims. But Marcus chose Greenwood Cemetery, plot 447, next to an empty grave marked James Williams 2018 to 2025. His father stood beside him in the rain. She killed 1,200 people before she grew a conscience. She saved 8,000. Does that balance? Marcus had no answer. Math didn't work on souls. The arrests started immediately. General Morrison first found hanging in his cell. Suicide or silencing, nobody knew. Director Chen vanished with 10 million in Babylon funds. Victoria Sterling got 3 years minimum security, out in 18 months for cooperation. Brad Thompson was found dead in his apartment. Single gunshot, execution style. A note pinned to his chest. Traitors to the cause receive no mercy. Signed with a crow symbol brought for justice. The reforms died in committee. Senator Hayes, who'd grilled Marcus about evolution, gutted every provision. The Marcus Protocol became the Marcus Suggestion. Optional. Unfunded. Ignored. "We lost," Denise Williams told Marcus after the third failed vote. "Babylon's dead, but its children live on." She was wrong about one thing. They hadn't lost. They'd been allowed to win just enough to think they'd won. The system bent but never broke. Marcus learned this when he applied to BMCC. Rejected. Columbia. Rejected. Every school, every job, every apartment, rejected. He'd been blacklisted, not officially, but every database had a flag. Fifth Avenue instigator. Do not accept. His mother found him living in his car, working as an unlicensed EMT for gang members who couldn't go to hospitals. "Come with me," Anya said. "Russia will protect you." "I'm American. America doesn't want you." She was right. The 8,000 from Fifth Avenue, the witnesses were being targeted. IRS audits, Child Protective Services, immigration raids. The system fighting back quietly, legally, unstoppably. Jenny Park broke first. Her teaching job eliminated for budget reasons. Her apartment condemned for violations. Her bank accounts frozen for suspicious activity. She live-streamed her suicide from the Fifth Avenue corner. Her last words, "I'm sorry, Marcus. We thought truth was enough." 700,000 watched. Nobody saved her. That night, Marcus found his father at Tower 7's garage. James had built a memorial photos of all 90,000 Babylon victims. He added Jenny's. "We have to fight back," Marcus said. "With what?" "They own everything." "With this." Marcus pulled out Eleanor's final gift, a vial of the real Babylon serum. Not evolution, not immunity, just targeted genocide in liquid form, enough to kill everyone at the next Senate hearing. "She wanted me to have a choice," Marcus said. "Save them with truth or kill them with their own weapon." James took the vial, studied it. "You know what I never told you? Your mother and I didn't save you from Babylon. We created you for it. Genetic modifications in utero. You were supposed to be immune so you could deploy this without dying." "I know. You're not angry. I'm furious. But anger doesn't change facts. I'm a weapon. The question is who I aim at." His father threw the vial against the wall. It shattered. The serum hissed, then evaporated. Harmless in open air, deadly only in bodies. "Or," James said, "we aim at nobody. We just survive, like cockroaches, like the poor always have." Marcus understood. No grand victories, no systemic change, just endurance. He took a job with an unlicensed ambulance company. Cash only. No questions. Saving overdoses in neighborhoods' hospitals wouldn't enter. The pay was nothing. The hours were everything. But nobody checked databases off the grid. 6 months later, same corner, Marcus answered the elderly woman call. Not a tourist Chen Mei, Eleanor's cousin, visiting monthly to maintain Eleanor's real grave, the one Marcus didn't know about. In Chinatown, unmarked, surrounded by flowers from people Eleanor had secretly saved. "You're him," Chen Mei said in Mandarin. "The boy from the video." "No," Marcus replied. "He died that day." She nodded, understanding. "In China," she explained, "many people died and lived again as others. The system required it." Marcus gave her glucose for her diabetes, checked her vitals, helped her stand. As she left, she pressed something into his hand, a key. "Your grandmother's real legacy," she whispered. "Not Babylon. What came before." The key led to a storage unit. Inside, medical supplies, millions in untraceable currency, and files, not Babylon, but something else. Liberation protocols. How to disappear people from systems. How to create new identities. How to build underground railroads in digital ages. Eleanor hadn't just designed genocide. She'd designed escape routes. Marcus looked at the files. 300 people on death lists. Not Babylon new programs, different names, same goals. He made his choice. That night, the first family disappeared from their tagged apartment. By morning, they were in Canada with new names. By week's end, 30 more had vanished. The Marcus Protocol hadn't passed legally, but it lived illegally. In shadows, in margins, in spaces power couldn't see. where it had always lived, where it would always live. 1 year later, the ambulance radio crackled. Overdose, 5th and 57th. Marcus Williams drove there as Michael Chen. Same corner, different life. He'd been erased so thoroughly that even his reflection looked unfamiliar. Eleanor's network had surgically altered his cheekbones, his jaw. Enough to fool facial recognition, not enough to forget who he'd been. The victim was a teenager, black, 17, Roosevelt high varsity jacket. Same age Marcus had been, same school, same corner. But this wasn't coincidence. The kid's wallet had a note, for Marcus Williams. I know you're out there. The boy Terrell Jackson wasn't overdosing. He'd taken Epicac to induce vomiting, making it look like poisoning. He was baiting Marcus out of hiding. I saw the real video, Terrell whispered when Marcus arrived. Not the news version. Jenny Park's hidden server. You're him. Marcus checked vitals, said nothing. Michael Chen didn't know Marcus Williams. My sister was one of the 8,000, Terrell continued. Pregnant. In the R of your name. She named her baby Marcus. Across the city, 231 babies had been named Marcus that year. 47 Jennifers, 19 Eleanors. The resistance had become nomenclature. I need your help, Terrell said. They're doing it again. He showed Marcus a video. New York City's new Clean Streets initiative, homeless camps being cleared with chemical spray. Harmless sanitizer, the mayor claimed. But Terrell's chemistry teacher had analyzed it, aerosolized carfentanil, lethal in micrograms, genocide disguised as hygiene. Marcus wanted to help. Michael Chen couldn't risk it. Then Terrell said, Ms. Anna told me you'd help. Anya. His mother had sent this boy. That night, Marcus discovered the truth. His parents hadn't retired into hiding. They'd built an army, not of soldiers, but students. 3,000 teenagers across 5 boroughs, all taught the same lesson. Document everything. Trust nothing. Save everyone you can. They called themselves the 7 Minutes. Each had a burner phone. Each recorded constantly. When Clean Streets deployed, they were there first warning homeless camps, providing masks, recording evidence. 67 lives saved in the first week alone. But the cost? Terrell's teacher disappeared. 3 students arrested on terrorism charges. The mayor declared 7 Minutes a gang. Marcus watched from shadows as his legacy became legend. These kids didn't need him. They'd evolved past him. Where he'd accidentally exposed one genocide, they were methodically preventing dozens. The anniversary news played in the coffee shop. 5th Avenue, 1 year later. They'd rewritten history. Marcus Williams was now a disturbed teenager who'd attacked an elderly woman before a hero cop stopped him. Eleanor Volkov never existed. The 8,000 were crisis actors, but Chen Mei was there, watching with 1,200 others Marcus had saved. They knew. They remembered. They persisted. She handed him a photo Marcus at 17, Eleanor dying in his arms. But behind them, barely visible, hundreds of phones recording. The truth existed in 10,000 versions, hidden in 10,000 phones, waiting. Your grandmother's final protocol, Chen Mei said. Not escape routes, memory banks. Every atrocity documented, every victim named, waiting for the right moment. When enough people stop walking past. Tonight, Terrell Jackson leads 207 Minutes to 5th Avenue. Not to protest, but to stand vigil. Each holding photos of the unnamed dead from Clean Streets. Tomorrow, It might be 2,000. Next year, 20,000. Black stories don't end with justice. They continue toward it. Life stories aren't about heroes. They're about witnesses. Touching stories happen when strangers stop for strangers. Real-life stories never really end. They just wait for you to stop walking past. What's your 7 minutes? Comment below with hashtag #my7minutes. Not your inspiration, but your action. Don't share this story. Share your own. Don't subscribe to content. Subscribe to conscience. Marcus Williams is nobody. Michael Chen is nobody. You're nobody. But nobody saved 8,000 people. Nobody can save 8,000 more. Starting now, 7 minutes at a time.